Hi, I'm Craig Parry, Executive Chairman of Vizsla Copper. I'm excited to tell you the story of Vizsla Copper and give you an update on where we're at. But just before we get into that, a little bit of weakness in the market in recent days. Copper prices off 10 cents, very much a temporal thing, a minor blip on the road to much, much higher copper prices. Supply and demand dynamics are like nothing I've ever seen. LME stockpiles are at the lowest level we've seen in all of history, and the supply side remains incredibly challenged against a backdrop of huge and growing demand for copper. So we think we'll see $20 per pound copper in the not too distant future. Copper's a one-way rocket ride to the moon, as Trafigura likes to say. So we've tried to put our foot on as much copper as we can, and we've done that with our transaction with Consolidated Wood Jam. Back in December last year, we acquired the Wood Jam property. It already has a very large copper base there, 2 billion pounds of copper and nearly 1 million ounces of gold. The work that was done on that resource was all done pre-2013, and in the past 10 years, Bill Morton and the team at Consolidated Wood Jam have drilled some spectacular drill holes, including holes up to 110 metres at 2.6 grams per tonne gold and 0.44% copper. So our job here as explorers at Vizsla Copper is pretty straightforward. We'll be following up those very high-grade drill holes that remain open along strike and at depth, and then looking to expand those high-grade zones, bring that into the resource base in the coming year, and beyond that, we completed a mag survey a couple of months ago, the results of which were phenomenal. Normally when you do a mag survey over a property, you might get 2 or 3 porphyry copper targets drop out of the data. Here we had 103 discrete mag targets that we're yet to follow up and that remain completely untested. We think that the property looks a little bit like North Parkes, where there are over 40 porphyry centres discovered. And of course, 3 or 4 of those North Parkes porphyries were very high grade, 1.5% copper equivalent type numbers out of those deposits. So we think that we've got all the potential for a North Parkes style deposit here, particularly given that we've seen very high grades in and around some of these porphyries that have already been discovered. We'll complete a ZTEM survey later this month that will help us better rank and prioritise those existing targets, those existing mag targets, but also get a bead on what is controlling these very high-grade zones of mineralisation. And then come June, we'll be following that up with an 8,000 metre drill campaign. And a lot of that drilling will be in and around those existing high-grade holes. So high-impact exploration, I think we're a very strong chance of getting great results out of this first drill program as we go on to expand the high-grade nature of the high-grade resource base that exists there already. So keep an eye out. I think copper by year end will be at much higher prices, and Vizsla Copper will be right at the centre of the thesis and a great place to invest.